So, this thing stopped recording. I don't get it. Yeah, just stop recording. So we're gonna keep recording. We're gonna record on the computer, and edit it. We'll find a way to edit it up. But this will not be lost.
Okay.
So yeah, this is
excellent.
Yeah, this shit is not
definitely worth saving all of that content.
Yeah, no, and it's yeah. I don't get
quick
what's wrong.
recap if anyone missed it. Parking ticket.
Yeah, no,
got a parking ticket.
Yeah, I got a parking ticket in Chicago, and we're gonna figure out how I got to pay it. Well, no, I like saying that. I know how I'm gonna pay it. It's just frustrating to get a ticket. You know, you shouldn't. Yeah. You know, it's some BS. But what about you? How are you with the tickets and everything? You don't get screwed like that?
I probably have like 4 of them right now that I have to pay.
Okay.
Yeah. And my car's registered in Michigan. I think at my mom's house. So she gets like, a lot of the time they don't give you the orange slip. They mail it to you, especially if your car's registered out of state.
Yeah. No, so that's that's hard, especially when you get they take a picture of you and shit, and you just don't know until you go home. So yeah, that's still cheaper. You still make out cheaper than staying here, being registered in the city.
Probably, yeah. Although my insurance is probably higher being in Michigan. Michigan has pretty high insurance rates.
You think so? People always say, I notice when you go around, when you travel, and people are always like, my region has this region has that. Do you really think Michigan has higher insurance than Chicago?
I don't know about Chicago, but Illinois, yeah.
Okay.
But as far as the city of Chicago goes, I'm not sure.
Yeah, because I was going to say, this is a shitty city. I'm pretty sure where you grew up, it probably wasn't as many people stealing shit and taking Cadillac converters and drunk people just sideswiping your car and keeping on going. And that's like the worst thing to me too, because you don't have any answers. I like, if something happens to my car, I want some answers.
Right.
I don't know if other places have that.
Well, in 2019, somebody drove their car right into my living room.
Jesus.
Yeah. I would show the picture, but this is an audio medium, so.
Okay. No.
I'll tell the story.
Yeah.
And then I can show you the picture off air. A guy, and everybody always asks me, oh, he must have been drunk. I don't think he was. He didn't get arrested or anything. I was laying in bed. I think it was around 11:45 at night on a Thursday.
Wait, can I? So you said he didn't get arrested?
No.
So he just kind of like everybody was just like, all right, everybody good, and then he just went home.
The cops came and firefighters came. They pulled the car out of the wall and then let the guy go. Obviously, he wasn't taking that car because it was.
Yeah, it was all scratched up and probably not running.
It was totaled. Well, he tried to back it out of the wall after he hit the wall, which was bad because if he'd hit a support structure, he could have taken the whole building down with it.
Yeah.
So I was like yelling at him, like, "What the fuck are you doing? Get out of here!" I mean, don't get out of here, but also stop trying to do that.
Yeah, you're ruining my life right now.
Yeah. That sucked. I had a big hole in my wall. They boarded it up the next day.
Who was they?
The city.
Okay.
Somebody came from the city.
All right. You never think about these kind of things until you become an adult.
Yeah.
Like, who's going to repair this? Like, all this damage.
I didn't know either. No, the repair obviously was the landlord had to do that, but I guess the city does have people that will go and board it up temporarily. Because, I was like telling the police were like, you can't stay here. And I'm like, well, I don't, I've got a hole in my wall. I don't just want people to jump into my living room and take shit. And they said, oh, we're going to leave a squad car and somebody will come in the morning and board it up.
Yeah. Was it in the summertime, though, at least? Because I feel like it wasn't cold. It was not winter.
It was April. Mid-April.
Oh, okay. It was starting to get warm. Yeah. Because Chicago, April's my birthday month, but you don't get a lot of love in April.
Yeah, April is either warm or cold. I mean,
yeah. The only thing I can say about April is just like, okay, we're done snowing. There should be no more snow during this month.
Sometimes, yeah.
Yeah, sometimes.
So weather wasn't too bad.
Sometimes.
I actually did end up staying there after they boarded it up when I wasn't supposed to.
No, I believe it.
Because I didn't want to stay at a hotel.
Yeah. Were they going to pay for it?
My landlord did pay for a hotel, yeah.
That's very nice, that mysterious landlord. Usually landlords aren't like that.
Well, I think they were required to provide me with an alternate residence.
Okay. All right. Yeah, that too.
Covered by the homeowner's insurance, I'm sure.
Okay. This is another question you don't have to answer if you don't want to. Do you have homeowner's insurance or renter's insurance?
No.
Okay.
No. And I didn't then either. But the homeowner's insurance apparently covered my damages too.
Okay. Yeah, I always wonder about that. And when people middle class people are just like, yeah, you got the renter's insurance, and I was like, no, the fuck you don't. Who's got that? Like, I don't got that. They were.
I know. I after that happened, I I thought about it, but then when I got compensated anyways, I was like, well, what do I actually need this for?
I don't even know. Maybe if you live in Texas or something and it snows real bad. Because that's what I guess is that. I know for sure in Florida you need some kind of hurricane insurance for sure, which is whack. Fleetwood Whack, as a comedian in Chicago likes to say.
Is that you?
No, it's his name's Bobby Bowker. He says everything is Fleetwood Whack. I like it. If I steal your joke, I'm gonna give you some credit. I'll tell you I stole your shit. Yeah, so that's a good one.
That's good. I like that. Oh God, there was this one comic I saw who had a joke. I don't know why this joke really stuck with me. It's not like even the best joke. I just enjoyed the premise of it, and I don't think anyone else liked this joke. But it was really simple. I think the guy's name, I want to say Zach or something. I don't remember. You can edit that part out.
Oh, jeez. Okay. All right. It was.
But the joke was, you know how you wake up sometimes, you're just having a bad day. You ever think that happened to Hitler? Or he just woke up and was like, I don't want to be Hitler today, man. Too much today for me.
Yeah.
Tomorrow I'll go back to being Hitler. Today I'm just going to stay in bed.
He probably was, man. He probably was a troubled guy. He probably had a lot of secrets.
Yeah, like I said, not even the funniest joke. I don't know. It just
Yeah, no, you appreciate a good Hitler joke. I got a couple. It's just the one I like talking about with did you know Henry Ford sat with Hitler at the Olympics?
I don't know. I guess I didn't know that.
At the 1950 Olympics or whatever. Yeah, with the one with Jesse Owens.
Yeah.
Yeah.
36 in Berlin.
36, yeah. Because 1950 it was all over.
Yeah.
But it was a different world in 1950.
If Hitler was at the Olympics then, they dug his ass up.
Oh shit! Or it might be another story if he was there. But yeah, Henry Ford sat with Hitler, and then my joke was just talking about like it was a misunderstanding. It was real sunny, and so like Henry Ford was just like blocking the sun out like this, and then Hitler was at the top, and he was just like, "Oh shit, who's that guy? Who's that man talking to me?" And he invited him up, and then Henry Ford didn't have the money for good seats, so he was just like, "Fuck it," and stayed. And now people think he's like a.
Henry Ford didn't have the money?
Well, no, he just didn't. It was like a high-powered event. He didn't get his tickets on time. That's all. He had money, but...
Yeah, I think he was like probably the richest guy in the world at that point.
Yeah, I don't know. He wasn't rich enough to keep Detroit great now. I he wasn't... I think he was rich.
Also not alive enough.
Yeah, that, but I don't think his family... I think his family has power, but not power. Like, they're just like the new... They're like the new...
They've moved a lot of shit out of Detroit anyway, so...
But I think as far as American families that have power, they were like the new kids on the block because it was like the DuPonts and the Fitzgeralds. Isn't there a Fitzgerald school? Yeah, Fitzgerald or Vanderbilts. Yeah, it was people like the Rockefellers and Vanderbilts and the DuPonts, and it's another family that starts with an A. But it's just people like that, and then like the Fords and oil people are like brand new ass money. Kind of
Right.
in that grand scheme of
Well, if you
things.
look at who all the richest people are now, it's none of the older people.
Well, no, like I said, the Vanderbilt people still have money, and the Rockefellers, and like those people.
But they're probably at like the bottom of the list now compared to like these tech billionaires who have 100 times more wealth than their families do.
Yeah, I would say yes and no, because I mean, yeah, but like sometimes they have more money to acquire more things. So then you might be a new person that has a lot of money, but then you've never been a senator, or people don't know your name as a senator's name,
Right.
and that kind of stuff.
Oh yeah, I'm sure there are what 700 billionaires. I think. How
Yeah.
many of them have you heard of? Like maybe 20.
No, I like to look at all that stuff. I like to look at have you ever thought about? Have you ever like seen someone like, yeah, this person just bought the Detroit Pistons and they also own Pornhub. So like like. Have you ever, you know what I mean? Like those are billionaires.
Yeah.
The porno people. You never hear about porno people
Right,
doing stuff
right.
like.
And I don't know any of their names. That's what I'm saying. You can be rich without being famous.
Yeah, no, yeah, because I just saw that Pornhub is the eighth most visited country in the eighth most visited website.
Country.
Yeah, it's not a country, not yet. No, what was it? It was X Video. X Video is the eighth most visited website in the world.
Where do I buy tickets to go to this country?
I don't know. It might be a weird country. It might be sticky everywhere. But
Yeah,
I thought that was
second thought. I don't know if I want to go.
yeah. I thought it was interesting though. Like eighth,
Maybe for a day.
and then it said that it's owned by some kind of Czech money group.
Really?
Yeah, and I was like, what? Like when we were talking about following the money and
Well, they
whatnot.
do make a lot of porn in the Czech Republic. I think.
Do they really?
I think so. It's like the porn capital of Europe. Probably.
Okay, I don't want to see it. I don't. I would totally go there though.
Probably have.
Yeah, I probably have, and just like been like, I'm not fucking with this. It's the lighting for me sometimes. So I'm just like, I don't want to see this. This is too much. It's the lighting, or sometimes it's the abuse. But it's
The abuse.
yeah, it's always some weird shit. I'm like, what is this? This is
Yeah.
not regular shit. I want to see some regular ass the way God intended porn to be. So God didn't want porn to be like that. So we should do that. We should invest in a company that makes like porn the way God intended it.
So like Christian porn.
Yeah. No, I mean that already exists. So yeah, I'm just joking,
Does it already exist? What would it be?
I know
I
there's
don't think that concept works.
well they do make ethnic like porn that's favorable to women.
Fair trade porn, ethically sourced.
Or ethically, that's the word, like ethically porn, ethically lesbian porn. And I just know where they're just like, it's not wild. There's no like abusing or no weird shit going on. It's just straight chicks kissing chicks.
Okay,
And-
but it's
and-
only,
and being
it's
nice
only
to each other.
lesbian, though?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they make other shit too. They make it's guy stuff too, but of course I'm not about to watch that. I'm a bad boy. But it's but like I know they make it for sure. It's in Chicago. There's it closed. There's a place called Evil Olive.
Oh
Or,
yeah, I've heard of that.
Yeah, and they used to have
Isn't that in Wicker Park?
yeah. I guess you could say Wicker Park. And on Mondays they would have a thing called Porn and Chicken.
Really?
Yeah, and it was
I never went there.
that was interesting. It was interesting. It wasn't the greatest time. And then the chicken was just like average chicken, below average chicken. So it wasn't bad. It wasn't
The
like
chicken wasn't great either.
yeah, it wasn't like 7-Eleven chicken, but it wasn't like some chicken you would pay for. You were just
But they just played porn like on the TVs.
yeah, and it was it was porn, and it was like different porn. It was like stuff I've never seen before, and but it wasn't too bad. But it was just funny how like they had bouncers kind of making people keep their phone down, like you can't take a picture of it, kind of shit. And it was interesting. I guess just because they didn't want to have it like people taking pictures and all that kind of stuff. It was kind of weird. Like you're gonna have us in here, but then tell me I can't take a picture.
Yeah, but it's not like a strip club. It's just porn on the TV.
Yeah, I get, but they were treating it the same way.
That's very weird.
Yeah, I was standing next to a guy who pulled out his phone, and then a bouncer was like, "No, don't do that." It was
You can't take pictures of the TV. That's very
Yeah.
bizarre.
So you probably had to take a picture. You probably had to be like, I'm taking a selfie, and then it'll just be, just some porn in the background. Oh no. I'm sorry, ladies and gentlemen. I cut my thing off, but it looks like my phones that I'm getting repaired are probably done.
Oh,
So yeah, I have a good Samsung phone that I need back in the rotation, and then I have a BlackBerry.
wait a minute. So you've already got two phones here.
No, because these are all phones that like I'm always switching companies and shit. I'm broke, y'all. I'm sorry. I know y'all thought I was rich. So yeah, I'm always switching companies. So it's like I'm switching from T-Mobile to Metro, and then every time I do it, I just get you get the introductory price.
Okay.
Yeah, so I just get a new phone. But then it was like I had this phone, and this phone would have been okay, but it fell down and broke. You can see it's got spider webs on it. So
Yes.
so then I got the Samsung phone. That phone fell down and stopped charging. So then that's why I have this Nokia phone, which is just trash. Even though no disrespect, if Nokia wants to sponsor this show, you can. But but this phone right now, the Nokia 5.3 or whatever, is kind of trashy.
It's a great product.
Yeah, I mean it's a great product if you
Great
pay.
product for the money that you paid.
I mean honestly, no. It's I should have got a Samsung phone. I was just trying to be different. I'm always doing some different shit because you said like I got the phones.
Well, you've already got a Samsung.
Yeah, but it was like
But this is what I don't understand. You don't have to switch your phone. You can take your phone to different carriers.
no some, and then that's now we're talking about 4G
This is
and
why, yeah. No, see, this is what I don't understand. You have like four different phones.
no they well AT&T, and this is where we sound like techie people. AT&T is upgrading their service to where some phones don't work on their thing anymore. But like this phone, I couldn't bring this phone. This phone was broken. The other phone's broken that I'm getting fixed. Um, no, I feel you. It was just but like, and then sometimes when you have the money, you can't turn down a phone on sale.
Okay.
It's normally $300, but then they're gonna give it to you for 79 for switching to Cricket. Give me this Motorola phone. Let me see what it's about.
Sure.
And then it's good. It's a good one. It's not a bad one. It's just got a spiderweb screen.
Rotate it with three other phones.
Yeah, or like it's just, well, then I rotate it because I put important apps on it, and I don't want to put the important apps on the other one.
I'm not trying to pick on you.
No,
I
yeah,
just think this is a very interesting thing.
yeah,
And this might be something people would like to hear about. Why you have four different phones that you rotate through.
yeah. Well, no, I mean, well, they will know like one phone has the bank apps on it. And you don't want to put the bank apps on all the other phones.
I think most people just have one phone that they have all their apps on.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. I had one phone too, like that Samsung phone. That was the phone, and it's just when it stopped charging, it just kind of shook my world up.
Okay.
Yeah, so the Samsung phone was the phone, and definitely the BlackBerry Key 1. That was definitely the phone. That's going to be the phone again when I get it back.
Is this a phone with buttons on it?
Yeah. It's the Key 1 that came out maybe a year and a half ago. Okay. We don't want to date the show because this show is timeless. We're two superstars on this show.
I didn't know BlackBerry still made phones.
Yes, shame on you. But yeah, they make phones. They're allegedly coming out with a phone this year. Well, now BlackBerry is just a software company in a name, and usually a hardware company will make their phone. So now it's a company called Onward Mobile based out of Dallas, and they're scheduled to make the new BlackBerry.
Okay, so they got bought by another company, or were they always that company?
No. BlackBerry is now just a software company because they're still the best as far as security is concerned.
Okay.
So they still put their software on phones, and then BlackBerry those phones are still used in like India and Africa and places of South America and all that kind of stuff. Like BlackBerries are still going on. They still sell BlackBerries and they still like manufacture the old ones. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Places like India, and we were making fun of the Czech Republic. They might fuck around and have some BlackBerries there. You know what I mean? Like places like that. Definitely India, and for sure, or and India is like the most populous country.
Yeah. Yeah, I didn't. I mean, I figured BlackBerry might still be around. I didn't realize that they were still in the phone game especially with button phones.
No, yeah, they're still trying to find their way, but they make more money off software.
Okay.
Because it's like a QX or whatever like that, and it's their system is still in cars today. Like they're like the one system they have a system. It's in the Mini right now. You know, the Mini Cooper.
Yeah.
Or whatever it is. That's a QNX system, so that's like a BlackBerry owned system, and it's in that car.
Okay.
So so they're still in cars, and they still do just hella tight with security. Yeah, and plus they're gonna always be around in my heart. So yeah, that's one of the phones that he's making fun of. Fell down, you guys. But yeah, BlackBerry will always be around in my heart, you know.
And now he needs another new phone.
Yeah, that would be funny if I fucking did. But no, I really hope those phones are fixed. And that Samsung phone was a really good phone. It was like Samsung A20.
Okay.
It was a good one.
Yeah.
What's the best phone you ever had?
Oh, probably my current one.
Is that's a new iPhone?
No, this is the Samsung Galaxy S21.
Jesus, they're on 21?
Yeah.
How many cameras on the back of that? It looks like 5.
It looks like 5, but one of them is a sensor, I think.
Okay.
Yeah, this one's not a camera.
It's probably sensing all our feelings.
And then I think it has 2 on the front, maybe just 1.
Okay. No, I can deal with it. I can dig it. It's a good looking phone. For sure.
It has an ultra wide selfie camera though.
Wow.
So if you're with a group of people, you can switch it between, regular selfie mode, or if it detects that you're with a group, then it will widen out like that.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then I don't want to give everybody the juice or the game, but I said I was open source. So, and these are Android phones. I'm just going to repurpose these phones as webcams and use them as webcams to produce this show.
Yeah, so that's a good idea.
That's what I'm going to do.
Like, I took this photo of the moon with this phone.
Okay. Yeah, no, that looks official. All right. Yeah, give it up.
Again, audio medium. You can follow my Instagram at Cameron Berwald.
Yeah, what is it again? Say it again, and I'll drop it.
Cameron Berwald. You can find my photo of the moon and nothing else of interest.
All right, yep. He's got his photos of the moon and shit, and I'm on Instagram as well. Everybody knows me, DJ Sliderbite, but we're gonna do all that at the end. Yeah,
saving the plugs for the end.
Yeah,
that's the best part of the show. That's what everybody skips ahead to.
Yeah, that's what they just, because sometimes they're just like, damn, this guy's voice is sexy. Let me just go to the end and see where he's at and see how he promotes himself.
I just want to hear what they're doing.
Yeah,
I don't care about the content of the show.
I want the
plugs.
Yeah, I probably the first couple times I was on people's podcast, I didn't know how to promote myself, or I didn't have anything to promote.
Yeah,
yeah.
Don't you love that you have nothing to promote? So anything to plug for you? I like this show on Netflix.
Yeah, no, that's what this one comedian, his name's Doc Love. He was like, you got anything to plug? I was like, no, I'm just
go check out the new Fast and Furious film.
Yeah, he was just like, well, catch his ass in the street then, run up on him like the police. You don't have nothing to plug. It was like, all right, now I know I gotta say something, or people gonna make fun of me and shit.
Everybody, if you haven't, iPhone 13 just came out. Feel like it kind of flew under the radar there. Not a lot of people are aware of this.
That's funny. I would never plug that shit, though, but yeah. No, it's great. Now I got this show to plug. I got all kinds of shit to plug now. Yeah. But that is funny. I do need to. Yeah, I just want another BlackBerry. I don't need another phone. I just want another BlackBerry. I want to set up these cameras to where, the podcast is all cameraed out. Because I feel like people want to see us. I'm gonna have you on again because people definitely want to see us.
Okay, great.
Yeah, they want to see our bodies, and they want to judge us.
So, this is just a conversational podcast. We're just talking.
No, yeah, it is. This is like Joe Rogan's podcast. I'm like the Black Joe Rogan. I'm Jerome Jackson Rogan, and I'm here to just entertain and ask questions.
You have a middle name that he doesn't have.
Yeah, no, or he probably doesn't use it. So yeah, Jerome Jackson Cartier. Rogan. That's 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 who I am.
All right.
It's gonna be great though.
Yeah, I feel like doesn't he often interview. I don't know. He talks to people about like that are experts or something a lot. But he also talks to like random people about whatever.
That's funny you said that because when I was when you're on your way here, and I was just like, yeah, he talks to experts a lot and shit. So I'm just gonna be like, I was gonna ask you. I was like, what are you an expert in? That's what I was gonna ask you before we got on.
Yeah.
So yeah, are you just what are you an expert in? Because I'm here with Cameron, and he's
well, yeah,
he's a man around town.
Yeah,
man around town. Seen him around town a lot. Yeah, you're an expert in something though. It's just not gonna be named
comedy,
yet.
Of course, you do comedy. I don't know. I work in IT.
All right. You work in IT, but you don't use Linux.
What, for personal use?
Yeah.
I mean, I have. I don't currently. I'm also just not on my computer much.
Okay. All right. We got to see who's.
But no, man, I work in Microsoft-based environments primarily.
Okay. Are you speaking languages? Do you know C++?
I don't really do a lot of programming. I primarily focus in Active Directory. If anyone needs an IT person, I am currently looking for a job.
Yeah, and this is going out to the world. You might get somebody in the Philippines calling you. You can work remote. It's an app called Team Leak or something like that. You can do it.
I do. I primarily work with Active Directory. We're getting into the real nitty gritty here. The inside baseball. Everybody wants to hear about Active Directory and Windows servers.
Yeah. No. What is Active Directory? And I know a lot. I don't know what that is.
Active Directory is Microsoft's Windows. I don't even know how to explain it. Basically, you know how like when you log in to a computer, whenever you're in some sort of corporate environment,
Yeah.
Active Directory manages that. So
it manages
a directory of logging into the network, and you've got all your users in there, and yeah, basically that.
No, okay, so all it is just everybody who's accessing the system, or everyone who has accessed the system, you can see that, and then you can probably see what they're doing.
I mean, there's probably there are certain levels of control you can have.
Okay, but for the most part, you're just seeing like these people are on this. I don't know whose Android is this on the system. Let's find out.
Well, if they're logging into my environment, they're going to be connecting with a user ID and password. So
okay,
I'll know who everyone is.
Does it have to be specific devices accessing the thing? Like, do they gotta let you know when they got a new cell phone or?
No, cell phones don't usually log into Active Directory.
Okay.
But it's typically for laptops and things like that. Although you can, I suppose, there's so many different uses for Active Directory, and you can pass credentials using LDAP, which is a protocol. There's just a whole lot of stuff there. I feel like it's not super interesting to many people.
No, I don't know. I think it's interesting, man. I'm here. What the hell? It is interesting. People are going to find it out. And then I don't really know how to market my my YouTube channel, because my YouTube channel is going to have this. And I do want to have, I started this thing off with the Linux thing.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I'm going to have some Linux-related content.
Okay.
You know, so, yeah, it was, and I feel like that's...
Are you using Linux right now?
No, not right now. That's why I had that disclaimer, because I didn't want to be judged. Because I had Ubuntu Studio, I had the long-term version of it, and I want the short-term version because it's made a little bit better this year or right now.
Okay.
The short-term version they're changing their desktop environment to these developers called KDE or Plasma, and it's just a lot better. Like it makes Linux look like like some Windows or some or Mac OS stuff, like what KDE Plasma and those guys are doing. And they have it's just super integrated. They have this app called KDE Talk or something like that. You put it on your phone, and then you can control your computer with the phone. Mm-hmm. The text messages show up on the screen, it was like when I had it all hooked up and it was going, I felt like I had like a Apple product. Like I was like, okay, or just how Apple products have that synchronicity between all products. I just felt like my computer and my phone were one, working together. I can get it all done, and I was like, this is cool. And then you don't have to spend like $30 million to be a part of it.
See, what I don't understand right now about Apple products, they still use the Lightning cable for the iPhone, and yet MacBooks all use USB-C to charge.
Yeah.
Why are they still holding on? Is it just because they love that money? Surely they could make their own proprietary USB-C for.
I think that they got sued for that, or I think everyone's trying to be on USB-C. It seems like they're, like you said, they love the money, or they love to just be different in some kind of way.
But then why? I don't understand why they don't use their own proprietary cable for their MacBooks then.
I think they were getting sued.
But not for the iPhone?
Yeah, not for the phone. To me, the computer is more of a bigger deal because I'll buy a computer. I need a computer to work. I don't need your phone to work, but I might necessarily need a MacBook to work.
I think a lot of the time you do need a phone now, and depending on the industry you're in.
Yeah, but like if I was doing some kind of photo rendering or music, they always jump to MacBooks.
Yeah.
So it's like, I guess you got to get their MacBook.
Well, the reason for that is because it's like so ingrained in that culture, the art world, and it's just because.
Yeah, with the RAM and things like that.
No, it's ingrained in the culture. Like all the art people use MacBooks because they all went to school and they used Macs. The teacher said, like, we prefer using a Mac. And their teachers did the same thing.
But
it's a generational thing.
No, they didn't know how awesome Ubuntu Studio is. That's the only reason why.
But yeah, and even if some of them prefer Windows or whatever, you all fall into line and start using an Apple because that's a generational thing that they've had going. They've got this big racket in the art world where they've been selling them this since the 80s. And so going as far back as the 80s, you've got people in that world who have been using it, and then they teach the next generation, and they say, I only know how to do it with a Mac, so you have to use a Mac. And then they do the same thing to their students, and so on and so forth.
Yeah. No, I've noticed that. I agree with you with that. That's why it's up to me. I don't know. I'm just putting you in. I was going to put you in on this. That's why it's up to us to change it. But I'm for sure changing it. I've been, I'm going to do my own Linux testimony on another podcast, but I've been using Linux for like 10 years. I've been using Ubuntu Linux as a regular user for 10 years. I just got this computer this year, and this is the first computer I've had with Windows on it. And like I said, in like maybe 10 plus years, I've been using and then the different distros of Linux too. So it's like I've been using Ubuntu, and I've been switching around to all the Ubuntu ones. The only time I got away from an Ubuntu is when I used Manjaro for a couple months. That was pretty cool. I downloaded something, and so it took over my Chrome. Every time I start up Chrome, it always talks about Manjaro, no matter what system I'm on. It's telling me about Manjaro. So, and I still want to do more shit. I just want to get this podcast. It's a lot of tedious work. I want to have everything done before I start tinkering with other Linux distributions, but I definitely want to get into Debian.
See, I used to be very passionate about arguing and and not arguing in general, but about my distaste for Apple and things like that. And I think as I've gotten older and I've had to use iPhones for work and stuff, I don't like using an iPhone, but at the same time, I think I've just become very dispassionate and disconnected from that whole argument and that whole positioning to the point where I don't really. You said it's up to us to convince them. I don't think I really care enough anymore to do that.
Or not even to convince them. Just let them know there are other options, because I feel like some people just don't even think that there are other options.
Right.
Because I'm someone I always get motivated. And so, like, when I saw that it was all these free options, I was like, I could be just as awesome and not have to spend any money. Mm-hmm. And these people are spending $3,000. And then I was going to, when you started talking, like the Ubuntu Studio, the specifically that one is set up kind of how a Mac is set up to where it's like things are fine tuned for the RAM to be used a lot, and things are like it's fine tuned for the audio and for you to be editing like movies and full length 4K movies and whatnot. That's what I think is cool. And I didn't pay a dime.
Oh, I'm with you. I get that, and I know a lot of like I get the open source argument, and for a lot of software I've used, open source is a great way to go. For me, I used to do a lot of graphic design, and I started it in high school, and so of course I started off using Photoshop, and I think it was Photoshop 7. So this is 15, 16, 17 years ago. And Photoshop 7, of course, is way out of date now. But I know there are open source options out there like GIMP.
You took the words right out of my mouth. GIMP.
Yeah, but I've tried GIMP, and I'm sure for some people, if they haven't used Photoshop,
then they'll like it. But you've already used the big daddy.
It's not even just the familiarity part of it. It is the familiarity that I have with Photoshop.
Yeah, no, I said it's the big daddy, so I feel like Photoshop probably has like features that are known to work and shit that's gonna be faster.
And I know that GIMP is open source and it gets updates and everything, but I just don't think it really can compare to Photoshop with some of the options that Photoshop comes out with. And again, I've seen great work done with GIMP, but maybe it is just an issue of familiarity for me. And I used to be very pro open source and all about having that debate, but at the same time, I also recognize there's utility in software that you pay for, and sometimes it can be superior. And even if it's not, especially in the business world, companies would rather just spend the money to license Windows for all their computers because it's what people know than to spend the money training them to use Linux.
Yeah. No, I agree with that, and I hate that. My company, we would all be on Raspberry Pis. So it would be, I'd buy 20 Raspberry Pis for $100, and then I would fucking have 20 TVs this is going to be on Linux XFE or whatever. It's the smallest Linux, and we're going to be on internet. This is going to be a $20 million company off Raspberry Pis. That's what I would do. That's just me personally. But no, I was going to show you because you were trying to compare GIMP to Photoshop, and then we're gonna put this in the video as well, people, because don't you hate sometimes you feel like your Instagram pictures disappear?
What?
Yeah, I don't have.
Did you delete it?
No, I didn't delete it because it was funny, but I had a Photoshop picture. I guess it's not gonna happen then. But no, yeah, when the quarantine hit, I was just like really jumped into using GIMP, and I made a Photoshop picture, and I was like studying chroma key, and I had like a early Twitch channel set up that I'm gonna bring back. So yeah, that's when I was doing all that. That's when I thought it was, even though I've never used Photoshop extensively, I was just like, I'm hearing everybody on the internet say that this is just as good, and I like it. I like being able to compete. I like being able to compete for free.
And for a lot of uses, it is just as good. For things that I wanted to do with it, I just found that,
like, what you have very specific needs. You're doing like real, because you're doing real work. Sometimes people are just talking out of their ass, and they're just like, "What were you doing?" Well, you know, like a lot of stuff.
Like cut a guy's head off and put it on another.
Or they'd just be like, a lot of stuff. You can't do a lot of stuff. No, specifically, what the fuck are you talking about?
Well, for me, more like photo manipulation.
Okay.
And by that I mean like
you can take
realistic photo manipulation,
or like I took a picture. I took some headshots in the middle of the city, and you can take the people out of the background.
Yeah.
Okay.
Things like that.
And still have it look good. Still have the street look normal.
Yeah, and that's where I think Photoshop really excels. Is in that photorealistic manipulation, and it could be different now. I'm talking years ago. I haven't really done this in a while, but I used to do this, and I used to use Photoshop because when I tried GIMP, I just didn't see that it had the options available that Photoshop did. A lot of things like content aware fill, things like that. Photoshop, in one of their latest releases when I was using it, and again, years ago, they had introduced content aware fill so that it would analyze the photo, and then you could automatically fill in like a background, like replace, like let's say like you were talking about cutting somebody out of the photo, you could like highlight where they are and then apply the content aware filter, and it will just automatically look at what's around that part of the photo that you're trying to replace and fill it in with like an AI generated background to make it look like the rest of the photo around it.
Okay.
Sometimes it looks good, sometimes you have to adjust it, but it's much quicker than tediously clone stamping over and over trying to fill in that background.
Yeah, I've done that before.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I smell what you're cooking. All right.
And again, this could be different now. I haven't used them. I was just saying that was like one example.
Now you're gonna make me write it down and see what GIMP is doing, so I can come back on here like the GIMP. I'm the GIMP spokesperson too.
GIMP apologist.
Yeah, I'm apologizing for GIMP and BlackBerry. So today, so that's
and trashing Nokia.
Yeah.
And who else? Who else we hit? Apple.
Yeah, they can eat a dick. Nokia can possibly eat a dick, but they can come back with some good phones. Nokia's that kind of company. They're just like BlackBerry too, where they're all over the world except the U.S.
Yeah, Nokia was my first cell phone. I think it was probably everybody's first cell phone if they're over 30.
Yeah, I would say so. Yeah, because it was the Nokia brick phone or whatever the fuck. Yeah. No, and we're talking about BlackBerry. Nokia and BlackBerry have the most patents on phones.
Yeah.
Because and then this is the thing too. BlackBerry was the first smartphone. Or first thing considered as a smartphone, like doing a whole bunch of shit.
Well, I know Nokia also had their own smartphone too.
Yeah, they were both. But they're both always in court. I don't want to say always in court because then their lawyers will be like, we're not always fighting. But they're often in court fighting over patents and fighting over old school patents and just things that they patented 20 years ago that are like
being infringed by new
being infringed now or things
and
that they
probably just get the royalties from it or whatever.
Yeah, exactly. Or just like I know I know something like technology that seemed revolutionary back then, but then now it's just like this is the real deal. So you got to kind of change it or whatever. Or that didn't make sense. What you said made sense. I'm not making sense. This is funny, and then this is being recorded. People are gonna be like, you weren't making sense in 47 minutes.
Have you ever had an idea? Not full stop. Have you ever had an idea?
Yeah.
No. Have you ever had an idea for like an invention or a way to enhance an existing thing or product or whatever, and then you look it up, and it turns out it's already been patented a long time ago, but nobody ever did anything with it, and you just wonder like why? Like I remember having like I was thinking like, wouldn't it be great if cars had, instead of just a brake light that's either on or off, if there was some kind of intensity to the brake light that would and I've noticed I have seen a few cars that have something like that. But if there was like an intensity to the brake light, either with like multiple lights or just by dimming it and making it brighter, where the harder they're braking, the brighter it got.
Yeah.
So that if someone's braking really hard, you can tell it's not just a brake light; it's a very intense brake light. And I looked it up, and there was already patents out for this kind of thing. But then I've never seen it really implemented on a wide scale.
Yeah.
And I have to wonder why.
That seems like something that that's a really good feature. It seems like it'll be featured on some Audis first.
Yeah.
And then it'll come down.
The technology for doing this has probably existed for 100 years.
Yeah.
I don't see why no company has ever done it. And the patents I looked up, I found they were not new. They were old. But it just has never been implemented.
That's funny, the patent.
And I'm just wondering why. Why did nobody ever do this? And maybe there's a practical reason. If anybody knows.
Yeah. Put it in the
Let us know.
comments or whatever. Let us know why. I feel like I don't know. Yeah, because I feel like if you're breaking, you're breaking.
Hmm.
I feel like that what you're saying is more that's like luxurious. It'll be
Yeah, well, it's
people.
not just luxury; it's a safety feature. It lets people behind you know, hey, I'm really braking.
Yeah.
Like I'm coming to a full stop, and you better do the same, or you're gonna slam into me.
No, I think a lot of real safety things started as luxury first
Yeah,
because it was
seat belts.
yeah, maybe seatbelts, but it's funny. It's and I when I went to college in Baker College, that's probably my roommate. We'll block it out. Um, when I went to Baker College, I was in my speech class. I had to do an assignment where we were pro or against something, and we can kind of pick anything.
Did you go to Baker in Michigan?
Yeah, I went to the Baker
Oh,
in
me
Michigan.
too. I went to Cadillac Baker. Which one
Oh,
did you
really?
go to?
I went to the one in Muskegon.
Okay, I taught there. I taught at Cadillac.
Okay, no,
Yeah.
that's cool. It was like a so yeah, you had to be for or against something. I forgot what I was for, but this one person he was an older man, and he was just talking about he was against seatbelts, and I've never heard the arguments against the seatbelts before, and it was some of it is valid, but it was a lot of it had to do with older cars, because back then
Yeah.
people in older cars were getting killed more by they were getting decapitated and just hurt more by the seatbelt,
Yeah.
but even now, someone recently said it now on a podcast I was listening to where they were talking about the seatbelt deaths, and that they're a lot, and it was like they had a thing where it was just like the seatbelt.
But is it more than the number of people that die from not wearing?
Probably absolutely not. So I would rather put the seatbelt on. I would rather put it on.
Yeah.
But I just remember when it was like in Michigan when it was like click it or ticket.
Yeah.
Do you remember those times?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it was.
I also remember the signs that are like, "You just blew $10,000," and I'm like, man, he must have been drunk as hell to get a $10,000 DUI.
Yeah. No, it's something that they just made you do, and I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I feel safer with the. To me, yeah, I would have to look at the numbers of the studying, but I think it is safer to have a seatbelt on,
Yeah.
especially with accidents that are like 40 miles or below.
Yeah.
Because I know it's a weird stat with like a lot of people die in accidents that are like 15 miles.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, like a lot of people it's a lot of injuries, and
And
you're not even
I've
going
also
that
heard like
fast.
most accidents happen within 1 mile from your own home.
Yeah, see that one too.
But I think that's just because most of the time you're driving, you're not that far from your own home.
Yeah,
People aren't always like taking a road trip is like the exception, not the rule.
yeah,
Most of the time you're driving, you're in your own neighborhood.
yeah. No, no, definitely that. Um, yeah, I forgot my train of thought, but no, it's yeah, I need to start writing down when we're rolling.
So
'Cause
the seatbelt thing, the guy, you said this guy had to argue.
oh yeah, yeah. No,
Against
he just
seatbelts.
argued he was anti seatbelt, and so just I've been hearing a lot of people.
But
be
he wasn't actually anti seatbelt, was he? He was just he had to argue that position.
Yeah, he could have been pro or against anything, and he chose that. He could have been pro, like sports or
Oh.
something. He chose seatbelts.
Oh, I thought it was a debate with him and somebody else.
No, they didn't say, "Hey, talk about seatbelts." It was like you can choose anything, and he was like, "I'm gonna choose seatbelts." Like he came out of it like,
So he had a purpose.
yeah, that was on his heart.
I thought
That
he was like given. I thought like he and another student were told, "All right, you have to argue seatbelts."
No.
And the guy's like, "All right, I'll take the 4 position," and he's like, "Damn it."
Yeah, damn it, I gotta be against it. No, I gotta look up these useless facts. No, that was something that was on his heart. He talked about it.
That's very bizarre.
Well, yeah, that's funny. I think your Baker was the only one that had because Muskegon, and it was another one outside of Flint where they had dorms. Did yours have dorms?
They built dorms, but I think that might have been after I graduated. I think they had some semblance of dorms, but not really.
Okay,
Yeah.
it was kind of a good time. It was to me. It was just it wasn't like a university
Yeah.
feel, and it was like I
No,
kind of
it definitely was not.
I kind of wish I had that university experience, but
Yeah.
then a lot of it is
Yeah.
some bullshit anyway.
Oh, I was at a party a few weeks ago, and stands.
Yeah, you took the words right out of my mouth.
They came to me. They're like, "All right, you're gonna be the one to hold him up because you're big." And I'm like,
"This is stupid."
Okay, so and then I lifted somebody up, and I'm holding them fine. But everybody's like, "No, you gotta lift them higher. Haven't you done keg stands before?" And I'm just like, "No, I never have."
This makes no sense.
And then so like one person like fell on their fucking face while I'm holding them up doing the keg stand.
See, somebody died.
Oh, they hit their face right into the keg too.
Oh no,
they were okay, but I felt bad about it. And I'm like, I was still holding them. I didn't drop them. They dropped themselves. Their arms gave out, and they fucking.
I'm pretty sure it's a lot of cheerleaders with that same thing. Like, I didn't drop that bitch. She dropped herself. Like, it was.
Well, no, because I was still holding the legs. You know?
Yeah, like I'm there. I grabbed her little leg from the bottom. She just didn't stand up straight. She fell. It was not my. That's Kelsey's fault. It's not on me.
Also, we weren't like in a. It wasn't a 12-foot ceiling. Like it was not a very tall ceiling. So I'm like, I can't physically lift this person to do a complete headstand over this keg, or their feet are going to be in the ceiling.
That shit is whacked. I live with this crazy maniac of a person named Jennifer. When I first moved to Chicago, and she went to Michigan State, so like I went to a couple parties with her, and then as soon as we were at one, and as soon as this kid broke out a beer bong, I was instantly like, you ever just see one thing where you're just like, it's time for me to go. I'm not even in it anymore. And it was like, I was like, I'm into it. This is cool. The music's loud. Then they broke out the beer bong. Yeah. And I was like, nah, this is whack.
Yeah, I didn't have all that partying.
This shit is whack.
I was in college. So I didn't know.
This was like 10 years ago when I would have been up for it too. But I was still, it was still like, no, this is some, no.
Yeah, so I didn't have the experience with keg stands and all that shit that a lot of people knew. I only learned how to shotgun a beer a couple of years ago.
That shit is whack too. We're drinking fancy beer here. How you gonna shotgun it?
Yeah, it's true. You don't shotgun a good beer.
No.
If you're gonna shotgun, you do some shitty beer. And I will say, if we're talking like beer bong, keg stand, shit like that, I'd rather just shotgun a beer. It's not silly. It's not. I mean, it is kind of silly, but
yeah, it's just not like everything. All eyes are on you, and then you could, like you said, people are falling down. You could possibly get hurt.
Yeah, but shotgunning a beer is safe.
Yeah,
it's efficient. It gets the beer in your body within like 1 second.
Yeah, I'd rather just drink the beer fast, like the police are coming or something, than to just.
Yeah, but shotgun it. Have you shotgunned one before?
I think I've tried, and it just didn't turn out right.
It's different than chugging a beer. I don't quite know the physics of how it works. It just all the liquid just vacuums into your body. Whereas when you're chugging it, you have to go against like your own like gag reflex of your throat or something, and so you're just like, making the gulping noise over and over.
Yeah,
and it's just like, oh god, this is tedious. I hate chugging this. But when you're shotgunning it, it's just like the entire can transfers into you like instantly, and you don't even feel it.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I guess I can dig it. That's funny, man.
So this is my soapbox. I'm pro shotgunning a beer.
Yeah, pro shotgunning over a keg stand. Yeah, I can dig with that. That's funny, man. What do you got planned for the rest of the day?
Gonna go shotgun some beers.
Are you doing comedy or anything tonight?
I don't know. Might be supposed to hang with a certain somebody tonight, but we'll see what ends up happening there.
Okay. Yeah, I got a show. It's gonna be the first time I
Yeah, you're doing the one at
Yeah, it's a secret. It's a secret, I guess. So maybe on next week's show we'll talk about or where it was, and
Well, by the time this goes out, it's
yeah, no, it could be next week.
It's gonna be over, probably, right?
Yeah, it's gonna be over, but no, by the time this comes out, I'm gonna learn how to edit, and all the sound is gonna be good. You're not gonna hear as much.
So they don't want this show promoted.
Yeah, I mean, no, it's at a secret show. That's the thing too. Like, if it's a secret, that is funny too. Like, you're throwing a show, but it's secret.
I think that's just to build hype, though. That doesn't mean you have to keep it a secret.
No, it says no. In Chicago, if something's a secret, it's a secret. I don't think they want. everybody to know about it because it's too many weird, not cool people.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it's a secret, but it's just like what you said. Aren't you trying to make money because you're charging people to get in?
Here's
so
what
don't you want the most people to know about this?
Are they so worried that their comedy shows can be flooded with fucking people? Has that ever been a problem at any comedy show you've been to?
Maybe just not. They want the right type of people, I guess. I don't know. We'll see. I'm used
to going to like comedy shows where I'm like, give me any people, like please. I don't care if they're weird.
Yeah,
I'll take them.
No,
give me you're tired, you're sick, you're indigent.
Jeez. Yeah, no, I don't want all the tired.
I'm like the Statue of Liberty over here. Like, I'll take anybody. You know?
No, I'm like Germany. I only want the strong. They can keep the weak shit. You can keep that weak shit in Canada. I don't, like.
Give me an audience.
No, we'll see. Yeah,
comedy. Let's talk comedy. Why not? Who are your favorites? Like, who are your biggest probably influences?
I mean, I was just thinking about that today. Like, I really like Sinbad. When I was growing up, I listened to Sinbad. It's a comedian named Corey Holcomb.
I could see influence. Some Sinbad influencing in your comedy.
I appreciate the comedy aspect of Bill Cosby. Just how he was just very just how just with his comedy.
Not the raping aspects.
Yeah, that's a whole nother story. People always want to get into that. We're talking about comedy. We're talking about what comedy did because it's he was always like clean and just with his shows and everything, he was always like a normal person. And I like even though I feel like it's a time and a place, like because we're swearing, I don't want to swear a lot. And then especially do you have YouTube content?
Do I have YouTube content?
Yeah, or are you going to start making doing a podcast or start doing anything on YouTube?
I've done some podcast stuff before.
No, but are you going to personally have videos up and try to monetize them?
Maybe at some point.
Okay. Yeah, I know one thing for sure, and I learned this from Kwame Brown. On YouTube or probably on all the platforms, you shouldn't swear for the first 3 minutes.
Yeah.
I guess it's something with the algorithm or the computers that listen to it. It's just they float your videos around more if you don't swear within the first 3 minutes.
Okay.
Then if you got to start swearing, you just let loose. But that first 3 minutes, don't do it just to up it. And so like back to Bill Cosby. And then kind of like Jerry Seinfeld too. When you just stay clean, you don't have to watch yourself, and then you can get as much money or whatever, as many opportunities as you can.
That's true.
So yeah, so people like that, and a lot of the '90s, just a lot of comedy in the '90s, I would say, kind of shaped what I was doing. And then the one last person, old guy, Rodney Dangerfield.
Okay.
Not is that his name, Rodney Dangerfield? Yeah, him.
Rodney Dangerfield. Can't get no respect.
Yeah, the no respect guy.
My wife, she doesn't respect me.
Yep, my wife. I had to tell my kids about the birds and the bees. They know more than me. My son told me about my wife and the taxi driver. So
I think my favorite clean comic is Brian Regan. Maybe not all time, but
I've heard that name
Brian
before.
Regan is really great. He's kind of similar to Jim Gaffigan in some ways, but different. He's got his own kind of thing going on. He's been around for a long time too. I think he just had a Netflix special come out a couple months ago.
It's kind of when I did a show and they asked me who my influences was, and then I put Pauly Shore as an influence. And I'll still say that I still fuck with Pauly Shore. I still fuck with the Weasel.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's
Did he even do stand-up comedy?
Yeah, he did stand-up, man. He he does stand-up. He currently does stand-up.
He probably does now. I don't know if he did before.
No, he did before, but just not a little. He got famous because his mother owned the Comedy Store.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, so he was always around stand-up comics, and he's always done stand-up comedy, but I think it was just kind of like known in the LA scene. It's a different scene over there. Like I'm curious about it. Just like someone was making fun of Dane Cook the other day.
Yeah.
Remember Dane Cook?
Yeah.
And but they were just talking about how like
I think he gets shit on so unnecessarily.
I liked him. I liked him before. Well, one thing, when you're a little kid and you get caught up in the hype, I got caught up in the hype a little bit. So I got.
I
I got kind of caught up in the hype, but I do a lot of research. So I know he used to be friends with Patrice O'Neal and Norton and all those people.
Yeah.
So it was like he's he's like one of those guys.
All these people like shit on him. They're like, oh, Dane Cook's not funny. It's like, no, he's funny.
He is. It's just an acquired taste.
You can't get to that level in comedy where you're selling out Madison Square Garden by being not funny. And like I know people love to say that about other comics too, like Amy Schumer and blah blah blah. And I get that there's some hackiness in their material sometimes. And here's the thing. When you get to that level of fame and you've got like people and approaching you and they want new content. We want more content. We want more. Give us more. People want more specials. They want more comedy from you. Whatever. They want you to do a show. I mean, imagine going from, your tight five to trying to write hours and hours and hours and hours of comedy material. How hard that would be.
Yeah, I think it would be difficult.
Yeah, I mean, it's not all going to be winners.
Yeah, no, I like, but I like Dane Cook. I just want to see. I kind of want to revisit him as an adult to kind of get it, but it was just a lot of energy. And then I was gonna say he fit that look. He fit the Hollywood look. And I would say honestly, if I was in his position, it was like that, almost that all-American white guy kind of look. Like he's not chubby. You know what I mean? He could have had any role that he wanted to have.
Yeah.
With that, so it just worked. I think he played it the way he played it, and it was all right for him.
Yeah, and I mean, I get some of the hate for Dane Cook, but if you go back and watch some of his earlier stuff before he got really big,
yeah, I don't really get any of the hate. I don't hate him at all. It was just I would be like, I'm tired of it.
I've seen impressions of him.
Never hate him.
Did you ever see Anthony Jeselnik's impression of Dane Cook?
No,
it's pretty funny.
That's just funny.
Should we pull that up as a clip?
No, I don't. I'm gonna see how that goes because that's not gonna be. Because I would use a clip of something that's fair use.
Okay.
But then that might be just like something from a special of his, or that might be on a show or some shit like that.
Yeah. So it's Anthony Jeselnik. I think it was just from a comedy club. I don't even think it was from a special. He was just doing Dane Cook impression, and he just starts like scurrying around the stage, and he's like, "Oh my God, do you guys remember being 5 years old? You remember being 5 years old?" Or something like that. I haven't seen it in a while, but it was pretty good. Sorry, somebody's calling me. I am recording right now, please. Impersonation? Yeah.
This is 8 years old? What the hell?
Yeah, it's from a while ago.
Ladies and gentlemen, Anthony Jeselnik.
There we go. That's too loud. Okay. What'd you say?
Do you have the video?
Yeah, let me.
Chick is trying to get me fired because she claims that.
Yeah, so this is fair use. We're gonna do this for fair use. We can't watch this whole thing because this might be bad for other people.
That, sweetheart. I don't even work here.
Is this the Dane?
This is Anthony. Oh no, college humor. Oh no.
This isn't it.
I wanted to take all my graduation.
It showed. Look. It showed up right here. It's this one right here. It's just this one. He just said this is his haterism.
This is Ike Barinholtz, I think.
Bananas because they're fun and they're full of deliciousness. Isn't the point of banana? That's why I eat a banana. Whoa.
Yeah, that's Ike Barinholtz from Mad TV.
Oh, okay. I mean, I don't. Dane Cook was a monster. I was about to say legend because people are used to saying legends, but no, I respect Dane Cook.
Monster might not be the best word to use either.
He was great. That circle, whatever, fire circle, whatever the hell that album is. That was a big deal, dude. A lot of people bought that shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I know, but I'm thinking like people typically when you say monster now, it typically means like a horrible person.
No, yeah, I mean it in hip hop when people say that, it's just like
comedy.
Yeah, like this guy was a big deal. Like when he had his time, usually when people mean monsters, like this guy's not a legend per se, but when he was on top of shit, he was on top of shit. You know, like shit was rocking for him. When it was rocking, when it was moving, it was rocking. So that's what I would say about Mr. Cook. I haven't met him yet. I would like to though. I hope he's using Linux, whatever computer system he's using. No, he probably bought so many MacBooks.
We got a sponsorship. You got a sponsorship deal with Linux yet?
No, yeah, and then that's what's funny. Linux is just nothing. So it's like, so they don't. I don't know. It's probably not even anybody officially that works for official Linux. It's like they work for like Red Hat and shit. Like it's not even.
You should put a sponsored by Linux logo.
Yeah, I should have people just be like, "Who the fuck is giving you money?" Because it's not sponsoring you. It's I can just talk about all this software I got, but they'll be like, "But that's always free." So it's like, what are you saying?
You're only sponsored by open source software.
Yep. That would do it.
And you don't actually get money from it.
No, but I still want to.
Still pretty funny.
I do want to get some penguins though, because I think that's the best logo anyway too. Little penguin, and then people will know what's up with the penguin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that'd be really funny if you put sponsored by Linux.
I probably should have that. So yeah. So what time is it? Because I know we gotta.
I think it's.
Yes, it's we don't want to date ourselves, but you know we got to get ready for our affairs.
Yeah.
I'm gonna try to wear a bow tie during this show.
Oh really?
Yeah, because we got to wear bow ties at my job, so I'm gonna just dress like I'm going to work. And yeah, I'm gonna try to see what jokes I'm gonna do, dude. I wanna.
Is it pay at the door?
Yeah, I think it is pay at the door.
Okay.
I want to because I want to do. I want to do this joke about being bumped. I like this joke about being bumped, but I guess that's more of a joke you would do in front of comedians instead of regular people.
Yeah.
You know, but yeah, it was
Are
just.
you sure the show isn't just comedians?
We'll see, man. It will. You know, I'm gonna have fun regardless. But you know, it's just when you get bumped, you like because I told this one. I think I might have told it was you or someone else. Like, I don't like being bumped because when I know if I'm up next, I usually cut myself before I go up, just for the adrenaline. And then if you get bumped, then you're just like back, and you start nodding off and shit. You know, but you're like the third person up, then you're tired and shit.
Did you tell me that?
It was you or someone else. We were outside of North Bar.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, you gotta be ready. That's why you don't like being bumped, dude. You can't get bumped.
Wait, are you saying you heard that from me or someone else?
No, I told that to you. I told that to you or someone else.
You did, yeah, because I heard you say that.
Yeah, you can't get bumped, dude.
I'm okay. Yeah, so that is yours. I like that. That's a good one.
Yeah. And then I have to study my menu, man. I got to study this menu for this restaurant I work at.
Yeah.
So we'll do that. So I guess we'll do you want to start? We'll do the where can they find you? Wait, let's hit this.
My name is my name.
Oh no, that's my name is my name. Okay, we don't need that one.
What is that?
No, because sometimes people make fun of my name. So it's a clip from The Wire where this one character was like, people were telling him like people were talking shit about you. This one guy is saying that you should challenge him in the street, and he's just like, oh shit, I didn't know anybody was talking shit. Hold on, you know, he was like, my name is my name. Don't let people talk shit.
When I first met you, I think when you worked at Kohl's, you know how it's kind of loud there. For the longest time, I thought your name was Montez because I couldn't hear it well enough.
Yeah, no.
Otherwise,
no.
So I think I called you that for a while. I'd be like, "Oh, what's up, Montez?"
Oh no, and then I work with I have a manager named Montez.
You didn't notice.
No, I didn't notice at all. But it's not Montez, but for entertainment purposes, it's DJ Sliderbite, and
My name is my name.
yes, it's DJ Sliderbite. But no, so I would say, what is this one? Oh no, that's the trash talk button. So no, this was great. I put it back on. Yeah, had to put it back on the first one. So I'm trying to find the thing. I'm gonna get better with this, people. I know. I'm sorry, people. Here we go. Okay, so yeah, so that's the end of the show. All right, we did it. We made it through. All right, where can they so where can they find you, Cameron?
Um, you can find me regularly all over Chicago, performing at an open mic near you. Um, Perhaps if improv makes more of a comeback, I will be performing some shows doing that. I used to have a pretty full schedule of comedy, and as of lately, not so much. Um, but yeah, I'm hoping to get back into it soon. Maybe podcasting could be a thing. I don't know. Seems pretty cool.
Yeah, the sky's the limit. Podcasting could be a thing. Well, you can always be a guest on this show the days I am podcasting, or yeah, for sure. I feel like we live nearby, so we can podcast anytime.
Oh yeah.
And I am DJ Slider Bite, and you can follow me basically everywhere where you could type in the words DJ Slider Bite. So like Twitter and Facebook lit and Instagrams and Twitch. And that's all the things that people are making money. Even I might have a TikTok soon too. So it'll be DJ Slider Bite on TikTok.
We're gonna have to figure that out.
Yeah, and then you can even find me DJ Slider Bite on Cash App. You know how people be begging. I'm begging too. So we're gonna do it. Yep. So
Follow me on Venmo.
yeah. Follow us both on Venmo and whatnot, and then we'll see you later. This is Customer Complaints. Y'all have a great night.
Cool.
Yes. All right. Hell yeah.
You got a cough button or something?
No, like the shit I'm learning in Augor, it will be able to be edited out.
Okay. You'd think eventually there's